Welcome, everybody. We're doing another wacky, crazy, fun event. We're doing Blind Date with a Book. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get this party going. Here we are. Blind Date with a Book. What's the title? We're not telling you. It's a big, fat secret. Who's the author? Well, you know the author. They are Ray Powers and Emma Pavlova. And I'm going to read tonight, too, because Kate said I could. And what's the story? We're not going to tell you. We're going to give you small snippets of each book, your 5-minute readings from each author, and then you're going to be able to guess which book goes with it, which author. Now, you're not going to get prizes for guessing the right books because, you know, we only have 100 prizes to give away. So, but you do get bragging rights on Facebook, and we will definitely give you that title. As we are getting ready to do this, I'm going to throw up the first of my wacky polls. This is just our curiosity poll. We'd like to know where you come from and how you found out about us. So while we're doing that, I am going to throw this at Andrew and let him do his commercial. Look, Andrew, I got graphics for you.
You did so great for me. You know, you've got an opportunity for all the days of this month except 4. That's this many. Except 4 days, you can spend time with authors and have a blind date with a book. But that's not all. Pages Promotions is also doing mini workshops, 6 of them, 6 mini workshops this month, and you can jump into any or all of them for a low price of $2. $2, you say? Wow, it's just an amazing price if you think about it. Most places charge excessively. This is just to cover the cost of the actual technology. So coming up on February 11th, we have, is this Kate? Yes, this is Kate doing social media for authors. And then on February the 16th, I love this, How I Learned to Embrace Contemporary Poetry as a Non-Academic with Michael D. Jones. A fun title, Poking the Comedic Derriere. And that's a kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, but hey, it sounds fun on February 17th. Backwards and Forwards Using History and Fiction. I'm really looking forward to that with Julianne and Xander. And you know, we might have a sword fight out of it all, but it should be fun. Xander's going to be great. Julianne's going to be great. They're both amazing. And on February the 20th, we have Andy Lockwood, and Andy has done production videos, and he's going to be showing us how to go from storyboard to YouTube and create your own book trailer for an author. And then last but not least, well, maybe least, I'm the small one out of the bunch.
Not least, not
my
least.
readers up at night, building suspense into your writing. Not only are we going to be talking about suspense with a story that was originally socialized for a book that Diana's about to release, but we have taken that story, or I have taken that story, and introduced suspense into that story with an interesting ending. It's going to be fun. It's going to be just a little suspenseful, and every one of these is going to teach you something. You'll get more than your money's worth. Don't miss them.
Awesome. Andrew, once again, you're amazing. You did that in record time and so well without any glitch. You're amazing. That's it. You're my resident ad man. Congratulations. Thank you so much. We are going to have a blast. Okay, so tonight, this is what we're going to do. Kate, I'm going to share my screen here in just a minute, but we're going to show you 3 book covers. You're going to have to match the book cover with the author. And like I said, you get bragging rights if you get it right. And then we're going to spin our spinning wheel of happiness, and we're going to give away books. Tonight, because it's a special genre, in my personal opinion, memoir does not get as much attention as it should in our reading circles. So tonight, we are going to give away a stack of books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books tonight we're going to give away. So make sure you stay till the end so that you can be part of the spinning wheel of happiness. If by some chance your name didn't appear on the spinning wheel of happiness tonight, it means that you didn't pre-register 15 minutes beforehand. So if you want to come back next time and get a chance to win books, that's how you do it. You pre-register 15 minutes beforehand and get your name on the wheel. Okay? So let me go over and share my happy screen. And Kate will hopefully get us rolling in just a second. So, okay, Kate, did I pull up the right graphic? Can you see the right one?
Yep.
Yay.
Yep.
Okay, so these are the 3 books that we're going to read from tonight. Again, we're not telling you the titles. We're not showing you the entire author. Write down these numbers, listen to the readings, and see if you can figure out who goes where. Kate's going to choose who reads first. Each one of us gets 5 minutes to read, and then she will let us know when our time is up. And she might be ruthless if you start to go over, so don't take it personally. She's on the clock.
I picked out the most obnoxious alarm I could find.
Perfect. We like obnoxious. Okay, Kate, I'm turning the happiness over to you.
All right, cool. I'm really excited about this. So first we are going to have Emma reading. So Emma, when you are ready, go ahead. You have 5 minutes and begin when you are ready. 3, 2, 1.
Everyone had the right to work. There was no such thing as unemployment. If you were unemployed for more than 6 weeks, you went to jail. Since the economy was regulated and planned, there was always work, whatever work and any work at any given time. However, if you wanted a good job, a career, you needed connections, or my mom's long arm. That was balanced out by having to stand in long lines for basic items such as toilet paper and laundry detergent. However, college education was free, along with health care for all and free daycare. Travel was a different ballgame based on your profile. We each had a profile ever since we were old enough to join the Socialist Youth Union at the age of 14. The profile also contained info about your parents. Then, volunteer hours on socialist projects were added to the profile. At 18, you were expected to become a member of the Czechoslovak Communist Party and get your red membership card. Soon the profile info started to add up in your favor or against you. Certain things were unacceptable, like if your family member was a member of the bourgeoisie, royalty, or if they owned land. You would definitely go nowhere. Based on the bizarre profile criteria, if they were good, you could go to Yugoslavia or maybe somewhere west if you got the exit visa. If your profile was bad like mine, because we left the country illegally for the USA, we sat at home. The profile thing continues to puzzle me to this day. Like in Hitler's Germany, nothing was ever forgotten or forgiven. That was in an era before computers. The whole socialist machinery was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You always got what you didn't wish for, but somebody else wanted it for you. Oh, we just wanted the best for you, a voice would say. How do you know what's best for me? I asked. Socialism never sleeps, the voice would persist. We know what's best for the country. Look at all the improvements in the last 40 years. Banners hung on buildings proclaiming the building successes of socialism and the bright future for the socialist youth like me. Bringing up properly the communist youth was very important to the regime, which feared intellectuals. On the other hand, the system put the working class, known as proletariat, on a pedestal. The most famous slogan was, "Proletariat of all countries, unite." I think it was a Lenin quote. Interestingly enough, some 5 decades later, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg achieved the same goal without the communist or socialist propaganda of uniting. 4 billion people now volunteer their information on the Facebook social media platform. I don't think the communists realize that you cannot force unity or freedom, just like you cannot force or enforce peace. Yet, thousands in Czech Republic now still yearn for the old socialist regime that provided certainties such as shelter, food, water, jobs, and the sun in the morning and the moon at night. The communists even claimed they could command the rain and the wind. I know they couldn't, but the fact they claimed that showed their infinite arrogance, deeply rooted in the propaganda. But there were also true communists, like our late neighbor, and I will change his name for all purposes. Let's call him Mr. Rudy Vuck. Rudy, in his early 40s, went through the political school while working. He never missed a Communist Party meeting. Rudy lived the party philosophy. He studied the Marxist-Leninist traditions and its pillars. He never cheated, lied, or stole, but in the process of it all, he got ulcers. Needless to say, that honest communist Rudy was in the minority. Most people who joined the party had an ulterior motive. This labeled them as career communists, like my second removed Uncle Henry. There were other career communists in the female ranks as well. Many teachers became communists to protect their teaching jobs. Although communists did not like the intelligence class, they were fond of socialist education, free of any...
Ding, 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 ding. That's 5 minutes.
Well done, Emma. Yeah.
Yes. Excellent.
Mm.
All right. Next, we have up Diana.
Oh, you're going to make me go next.
Oh,
Perfect.
yes, I am. All right.
Please,
When you
Lola.
are ready, in 3, 2, 1.
High school graduation for my son brought mixed emotions for me. I was thrilled that he was finished with school and that he'd completed such a grand accomplishment with honor and dignity, and he had a good time. But I was a little bit scared about what the world was about the world he was about to enter. I hoped the past 18 years of parenting had taught him all he needed to know to become a successful adult without me. I hoped I had given him all the tools he would ever need to navigate the waters of career, relationships, finances, and future planning with a sense of confidence and enjoyment. I really didn't care where his life took him in terms of career path or marriage and family. My biggest concern was that he'd carve out for himself a life that he was proud of and a life that he enjoyed. Since the beginning, all I ever wanted for him was that he would be a happy, healthy, and semi-well-adjusted person. After 18 years, I was pleased to see that he indeed had all of those things. We celebrated with the occasional parent and friends at a favorite restaurant, one that had become a tradition when marking important school milestones. When we went home that night, my son and I talked about what the future might hold for him. He said he wasn't ready for college. I completely understood. He had been an excellent student and he was a little burned out. He already had a part-time job and he was looking toward a future of moving out on his own. Hearing this, my heart did a little flip-flop of tear. I know that this moment was exactly what I had been preparing for him for over 18 years. But when you're in the middle of it, it's not really a focus of your life or your future. You know that the inevitability is lurking there somewhere in the background, but you never really focus your eye long enough to really investigate what it looks like. It simply becomes one of those bridges you cross when you get to it. Well, here we were, my son and I, standing on the precipice, staring at the bridge in front of us and the bottomless pit below. What could I do but say, of course, son, whatever you need to do. Over the next several months, he began searching for roommates and a place to live. He would leave the house every day and go to work and embark on his housing search. Often he would come home and tell me about this or that find, this friend who was interested but didn't have enough money yet, or that friend who did but wasn't necessarily reliable. And so the search continued. He spent several months looking for a place to go with varying degrees of success. He misered away his money, saving for the inevitability of first month's rent. After a few months, I noticed that he was spending less and less time at home. I didn't really think much of it at the time. He was still sleeping at home most nights, and I'd see him as he carted his laundry to the basement and occasionally for meals. We'd find time to get together every so often and talk as we always had and catch up on our lives. Each time we had one of those little encounters, I'd ask how his housing search was going. Each time he'd respond that he had some prospects, but one thing or another was blocking his independence. I told him he could have more time to figure it out because I truly wanted him to make a good choice toward his happiness. This first step outside the house is an important one for any child, and I wanted to be sure that he knew he had my support and understanding. After about 9 months of searching, he came home one day and told me that he'd found a house to rent nearby with a few friends. The rent was within his budget, and he thought he could rely on these other people to follow through on their commitment to the household. I was simultaneously happy for him and sad for me. This was really it. My boy was leaving home, so I asked him how soon, and he said that the house would be available in a month or so. Fine, I thought, that gives me plenty of time to get used to the idea. And then I noticed that he was spending less and less time at home. I was seeing less and less of him and slowly getting used to it. At last, the day came, about 3 months later. My son sat with me enjoying a simple lunch when he told me that he was moving out. He told me that he had arranged for a friend and a truck to come by during the next day while I was at work and help him move his stuff to his new house. He said, "Mom, I think it's time. I think I'm ready to go." I looked at him with such pride. I said, "Yes, I think you're ready too." Then he looked at me with that Zachary smirk and laughed. Finally, he quipped. "What do you mean?" I said. "Mom," he said, "I've been ready for a while, but I knew you weren't." I was stunned. My chin hit the floor because he laughed again. He said, "Mom, I had to wean you." That kid of mine, he's pretty smart.
Wow, that was done with 15 seconds to spare.
Awesome. I
Nice
practiced
job.
like 6 times today. Oh.
That's always a good idea. All right. And now we are going to have Ray. Ray, when you are ready, in 3, 2, 1.
I felt that mentally I was changing. I was being abused in so many ways that it was really affecting me in many ways. I started to get very defiant and somewhat disrespectful toward my mom and my grandmother and aunts. I also stopped caring about school. At 16, I stopped going altogether. But even before I dropped out, I was missing so much that it would have taken an extra couple of school years to get caught up. I felt that I had a grim future because I really did not think that there was going to be much of a future for me. I felt that all the cards were stacked against me. I guess looking back, it was major depression. And I didn't know what to do about it. I just felt as if it was normal teenage stuff going through my head. My attitude got worse, and I started to feel suicidal. I threatened suicide several times, and a few times I really contemplated doing it to end all the abuse. But I guess that being normal teenager and being abused in so many ways made it just that much worse. There were a few things that came out of my new attitude. I was going to the gym every day, whether it be by myself or with Scott. And I was just spending hours working out. And I was putting on a lot of muscle, and it showed. But all I wanted to do was hurt someone. And I didn't care who. One day my stepfather Colin was getting ready to assault me physically, but I was not going to have that anymore. So I rushed by him and knocked his shoulder very hard. He yelled at me, "Watch it." So I came storming back toward him and stood there face to face. He did not know what to do. I could just see the fear in his eyes. And after that day, he never touched me again. But the abuse was still happening on the other side. I was getting to where I was good with it. I was planning sleepovers at Scott's house just so that we could have activities and look at magazines and stay away from home. After we would have our activities, we would stay up at night and talk. I still wanted it to stop, but I had become addicted to the abuse and felt that Scott was the only one who cared for me and understood me. The abuse went on from when I was around 12 years old to 17 years old. That was a long time in teenage years, but really, that's a long time for anyone to be confused. I'm lucky I never really followed through on my suicidal mentality. I had started to create 2 identities, one that was a good church-going kid and the other was a crazed, addicted teenage boy. I was not truthful to my leaders in our church when we were asked about activities in our daily lives. We had to be questioned by our bishop to get a temple recommend to go to service for our ancestors. And I had to lie to get my recommend to do the service, and so did Scott. Scott played Santa when I was young, and he would bring us gifts and presents to our family for many years, even after we knew it was him. But Scott didn't just do it then, he did it as part of his life. He would prepare himself every year to play Santa. Beard, outfit, and everything that went along with it. He would pick some young kid every year to be an elf. Wally was one of the elves one time. He would have them dress up the part, looking back as an adult. This was one way to get close to young boys. I didn't know if he ever touched any of the kids who sat on his lap, but I know that afterward he would make comments about certain boys and how they would make good elves. Scott would play Santa for all of our church Christmas parties and deliver gifts to people and children who would otherwise go without. You see, he played a part of a really good man, but again, looking back, that kind of person was just too good, and most of the time had sinister motives. Scott was very popular as Santa during the Christmas holidays. He had appearance gigs set up almost every night, and he did many church parties and business parties, as well as home parties. He was very busy during this period. I never played an elf for him. I was always too big to be a small elf, but he always had one, and not always from our church house. Knowing how Scott was, I got to look at all men who dressed up as someone in disguise of hiding something, but that was just my feeling because I was being abused by one. I slept over at Scott's house a lot. He always asked me to come over and stay the night. When I would sleep over, the three of us, Scott, Mesa, and I, would do something like go to the gym, watch movies, or play games as if I was one of their children. And that's it.
With 25 seconds left. Awesome. And I would like to point out too, if anybody missed it earlier, this is not just Ray's first time attending a virtual book festival, but also reading at it. And you did awesome. That was great.
Awesome. It was awesome. Good job. I'm seriously impressed. I am hooked on your book. This is a really personal story, and I'm really drawn to your story, and I've already bought it. So thank you. Thank you very, very much. That it's a great story.
Thank you.
Okay, so yay, everybody, we got to do this. Andrew, my God. Okay, so now here we are. Let me share my happy screen again. Here we are with the books. Everybody gets to guess now which book was written by which author. So if you go through the poll, you should see the poll on your screen. If I did it right, Andrew?
You did it right.
She can be taught. Okay, so everybody take a look at the books on your screen and the associated numbers and go into the poll and make a guess. Once again, we're not giving away, extravagant prizes. If you win the poll, this is just something fun to do, so you can guess who goes with which book. And if you get them all right, you do get bragging rights. We'll talk about it on Facebook tomorrow. I'm having a blast. Can you tell? I'm just having a really good time. So there you go. Everybody, you've got a couple more minutes to play with the poll. Put your votes in. Almost everybody is there. We're 19 out of 24 people voted. It's just going to give you another minute or so to go through there. And while we're at it,
what's happening tomorrow?
Almost there. Tomorrow we're doing another thing, but forgive me if I'm at a loss for wait. I have it. Yes, we are doing poetry and short story tomorrow. That's what we're doing tomorrow. Poetry and short story tomorrow night, and it is at 8:00 tomorrow night, not at 7. So all of the events so far have been at 7. Tomorrow's event is at 8:00. This gives you extra time to gather the family around the smart TV, throw us up on your screen, and everybody can have some fun after dinner. We've got 2 more people. Haven't answered the poll yet, but we're close enough, so I'm going to end the polling. And now I'm going to see if I can make this happen. I'm going to share my screen once again and give you guys the answers and show you who won. You ready? Here we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. There we go. There's the answers. So, Secret Predator, Abuse from Within is written by Ray Powers. Emma Palova did Greenwich Meridian Memoir, and I did this wacky thing called Wolf Cub. And in case you're wondering, the reason it's called Wolf Cub is because my maiden name is Wolf and my son's last name is Wolf. So that's why. Yay, look at that.
It's
68%
right there.
of you got one right, two right. Look at that. Look at that. I'm so impressed with you guys. You got it. Good job. Well done, everybody. There are the results. Take a look. I realized I was looking at the numbers and not showing them to you. That was pretty rude.
That was so
Okay.
good.
It was rude. So there you go. There's the results. So if you got them all right, good for you. And you get bragging rights on Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to brag away. We'll let you. So now, before we get into the happy wheel of happiness, I want to tell you a couple of things. The first thing is this. We have a pop-up bookshop where we are featuring all the authors and their works on our website. It's really easy. You just go to pagespromotions.com. I put the direct link in the chat already. Andrew, if you feel like throwing it up there again, feel free. But what we've done is we've connected all of our authors in one easy to find place so that you can connect to all of their books, not just the books that they're reading during festival, but all the books that I could find. I tried to put everybody's entire catalog up there so you can connect. If you've already got a book, or if you are going to buy it from another source than directly from the author, you can click on the author's name on our pop-up shop and you can request a limited edition numbered signed book plate. These have lignin-free, acid-free little sticky back thingies on the back so that you can put these inside your books, or you can use them as bookmarks or put them in a special commemorative spot on your wall, however you'd like to keep these. But all of the authors have these to send to you. All you have to do is click on the author, connect with the author to make that request, and you can get those free. Okay, so now we're going to do our wacky spinny wheel of happiness, because this is where we get to give away books. This is the exciting part. Kate, can you be my backup note taker? You're awesome. See, you're awesome. You
Steps ahead of you.
Oh, good. Douglas, you got your book plates. Yay. Thank you. That means more people are getting them. I wasn't sure if I put enough postage on them, so I'm glad that you guys are starting to get them. Okay, I'm going to share the spinny wheel of happiness, and we are going to do this thing. Again, can you guys all see the spinning wheel?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Good. Okay. We're going to spin the wheel 5 times tonight to give away books. So feel free to stick around. And the great part is I decided that we're just throwing caution to the wind and everybody gets the opportunity to win multiple times. So it's an even better idea for you to come to these events every night, because who knows how many books you could walk away with. It's all super random, as you can see in my handy dandy windy spinny wheel here. Here we go, spinning wheel number 1. And I don't have sound this time.
Clickety, 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 click, 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 click.
Kathleen Power. Yay, Kathleen won! Yay! Kathleen, you win an awesome book. This is called Tell Me What You See by Carolyn Topperman. If you were here yesterday and you didn't get a chance to win, or if you were here yesterday and you got a chance to hear her read, this is an extraordinary book. You're going to love it. She sent me 2 copies, which is why we're giving away a second one tonight. So, good job. Well done. Congratulations. Okay, we're going to go back to the spinning wheel again. And spinning wheels. What's that song? Spinning wheels go round and round.
Spinning wheel, got to go round.
I was
There
waiting
you
for
go.
you to start singing that.
Crying shame. Ride a painted pony.
There we go. Vanette Farr,
Yes.
Congratulations. You won spinning wheel number 2. So exciting. And you get a copy of Ray Power's book, Secret Predator. So this is super awesome. Like I said, the minute this thing came in my door, I went to Amazon and I bought a copy. So I'm super intrigued by this story. I think it's going to be great. Okay, book number 3. Diana can't see. Diana does not do math. Okay, ready? Here we go. Book number 3, Spinning Wheel. Julie Nelson. Congratulations, Julie. You have won a copy of my book, Wolf Cub. And I will make sure to put a book plate, a numbered signed book plate in it for you. So you don't have to worry about contacting me about that. You will get that. And just for giggles, inside, I really embarrassed my son and I put a bunch of pictures of him growing up through the years. So there you go. Okay.
Pictures bad, girl.
No, they're all fully clothed pictures.
Oh, good.
I didn't want to embarrass him too badly. The non-fully clothed pictures are in the baby book I'm giving him when he gets married.
Not giving his girlfriend when he.
Yes, I'm giving it to her when they get married. Yes, it's my wedding gift. Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. So next, this is like spinning wheel number 4, right? Okay. Spinning wheel number 4. Yay!
Boom chakalaka laka, boom chakalaka laka, boom chakalaka laka, boom chakalaka laka, laka. Boom.
Yay! Michael Schwartz. Good job, Michael. You're gonna love this book, Michael. This is from Jacob Bullen. This is the Shield of Veneria. This is a great fantasy book. I think this is going to give you some great ideas for your writing. Jacob is a superb writer, and he's going to be in our fantasy thing later this month. So check that out. And spinny wheel number 5, just because I'm feeling over generous tonight. And the authors were terrifically generous in sending tons and tons of books, so I'm super pleased. Here we go.
Round and round, what comes around goes around, and here it comes. Ding, 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 ding.
So, yay! So, I'm just going to keep saying your name over and over again. Myself. Okay, there you go. Amy, copy of Ken McGregor's Devil's Bane. This is a young adult story. 4th grader who becomes a warrior against all kinds of shadows. So you're going to love this book. It's super, super fun. Thank you, everybody, for playing our silly, ridiculous game. That was fun. We had a good time. Thank you, Andrew, for your musical prowess, as always. And we're going to tell you something else. You know, you've heard us talk about these special little tickets you can win in our books. Well, here they are. We're giving away 3 bonus prizes. These are going to be tucked inside some of the winning books. So when you get your book, if you've won one of these ticket prizes, golden ticket, silver ticket, bronze ticket, you'll find it tucked inside one of the winning books, just like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. What book is it going to be in? We don't know. You'll have to find out when you get your books. The golden ticket, you will win a Kindle Fire 7 tablet. This is the ad-free tablet, so super fun. The silver ticket is a Blood in the Rain prize box donated through the generosity of Jacob Bullen. This is the first 2 books in his Blood in the Rain series and a snazzy hooded sweatshirt, super snazzy. And then Andrew Smith, our resident musician, has donated so generously a Masterson Files prize box, which has all 5 books of the Masterson Files, a canvas tote, and a really super snazzy aluminum tumbler. So again, if you get one of those tickets in one of your books, send me a photograph with you holding your ticket in my email address, which I'm about to give you, and you will be able to claim your prize. So what do you do if you've won a book tonight? I'm going to show you. Here it is, right here. If you've won a book tonight, send me an email by midnight tonight. Remember, an email by midnight tonight that has your mailing address in it. if you are a repeat offender in our Wheel of Happiness and you've already won a book, you still have to send me your email address, because I'm collecting these in order and they're all date time stamped, and this is the only way I can make this fair for everybody. So to claim your prize, send me an email with your mailing address and I will send out your book prizes. Okay, Andrew, did I get everything?
Not quite. You have we have a question. There
Great.
was a
I
question
was
out
just
there.
going to say,
and
yes, we have time for questions.
This was
Okay.
from Luba to all of you. How excruciatingly difficult was it to share your stories with the world? What was that vulnerability like for you? Anybody want to start? Diana?
I'll start. It was easy for me. My son came to me when he was 10th grade, 11th grade. He came downstairs one day while I was making dinner. He said, "You're a really great mom." I said, "Yeah, what do you want?" He says, "No, you're a really great mom." And I said, "Yes, and?" And he said, "I want you to write it down so that when I have children, I know what to do." When you get that kind of request from your child, you really can't say no. Unfortunately for me, I'd been keeping journals since the day I found out I was pregnant until my son turned 18. And then I added to it when he was 21. So I actually wrote the book when he was 21 years old, compiled all of my journal entries and put it out there. If nobody wants to buy the book, I'm perfectly okay with that because it was a gift for my son, but it was really a present for him. So it wasn't hard for me at all.
Super and fantastic. Ray?
At first, it was hard. When I first wrote the book, it was difficult to see people read it and hear, what they thought about it. But the more time went by, it became easier. That it was actually really nice to be able to share my story.
Mhm.
Yes, it's still a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, but it's not as hard as you would think.
I would imagine there's tremendous amount of healing that goes through that process as well.
Writing the book, it was very therapeutic.
Yeah.
It took me a couple of years actually to write the whole thing, even though it's not that long, but it took me a while to write it.
Very good.
Okay.
We have a comment that's out there that says, we're glad you're willing to share your story. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much.
Thank
It's good. Emma?
Yes, for me, it was a major challenge, and mainly that was because of the time span. The memoir covers 5 decades of our lives, of 2 generations, my parents and my own story. So it was to encapsulate that and give it even looking at the format. And now that I'm working on a screenplay based on that, so it really is, I'm still processing it. I mean, it's like a never-ending story. It's infinite. It never ends.
Those are a lot of details to put into one volume. That's astounding. I only took 21 years. You're doing, wow, crazy. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Emma is very impressive. I had the honor of sitting next to her at an event, and she has a lot of good stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions floating around out there? We have a little bit of time still if you guys have questions.
Oh, come on, everybody.
Yeah.
There's not a question, but a comment in the chat. I'm enthralled with your memoir, your memories, and your survival.
Absolutely. Okay. Anybody else?
There's
Any
another
new projects
question.
on the horizon? There we go.
Ray, do you have any new projects coming around?
Yes, I do. There's actually, this is a 3-book set really. And I have, this is really book 2 in the set of 3. Book 1 is almost complete. I'm kind of doing it backwards. And
Okay.
so yeah, there is a couple of the books in the works.
Awesome. Emma, what are you working on aside from the screenplay? Are you working on anything else?
Yes, it's the 3rd book in my collection of short stories in the series. It will be book number 3, Steel Jewels.
Awesome. Awesome.
Sure.
I'm just a glutton for punishment. I'm working on 4 separate novels right now, a political thriller, science fiction, Western, and a suspense novel written entirely in 2nd person. So Yeah, that's why I'm coming to Andrew's class, because yeah. So any other questions?
We do
Ray,
have,
are your books are in sequence, Ray? Did you say that you're moving backward?
Yes, they're kind of in sequence. The main book is the one that was just published, Secret Predator. The book number 1 is actually prior to that, but you have to read what happened to understand why it happened.
Got it.
So book 2 is really 1, and book 1 is really 2. And so
Okay.
it's backwards, but it's in sequence.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm just curious, Ray, I mean, you touch on in the short reading that you had, you touched on a lot of things that are very topical now and have been for a while, but also when I was growing up, because I'm an old man, were very well hidden in the world. They were swept under the rug and set aside. Do you have any plans to either put a primer or a compendium together on the side to give people the ability to cope with things like what you were reading?
Yes, yeah, I do. Yeah, that is going to be more in the book 3.
Okay.
That basically encompasses all, how I overcame the stigmata of the whole thing. And so, yes, that's going to be book number 3.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. I am so thrilled that you're bringing your courage to bear witness on this, because there's so many people that are still so frightened and hiding in the shadows. So I think it's wonderful that you're sharing your experience so that you can lend your courage to other people. So well to you. Well done.
And more people need to have the courage to, bring it out. It's like I said, it's therapeutic to get it out in the open.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Always.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions?
I just
Going
want to echo
once.
something that you said earlier, that at the beginning, that memoirs don't always get the attention that they should. And I think that this tonight just was an excellent example of 3 very, very excellent memoirs, all 3 of which I'm planning on buying. So I think that was a wonderful, wonderful takeaway tonight.
Absolutely. I've always believed that memoir needs a brighter spotlight. So that's why I wanted to give you guys your own night tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Andrew.
No, I have 2 out of the 3. Ray, you'll be next. I mean, we'll go from there.
And Andrew, you're gonna start posting reviews, right?
Not only am I going to start posting reviews, because I have a ton to review,
Yeah, I know.
but I haven't really advertised it, and I was hoping she would be here. My stepdaughter, she has over 1,500 followers on Goodreads now, and she is doing constant reviews on books, and she has promised to come to some of these and start reading some of the independent authors of Michigan and doing reviews on them. So she's very good. She has, during the month of January, she read over 20 books and intends to read more during February. So she's kicking it out.
Awesome. Great. Luba, I'm glad that we could be inspiration for you tonight. That's super cool. Authors always love to hear that they're inspiration, even if it's inspiring other authors. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate all of you sharing your stories and being a part of this festival. I am passionate about the written word, and I'm passionate about indie authors, and I want to help you guys do wonderfully successful things over the next year. The reason I bring out the idea of reviews is because reviews are so important to authors. If you read, please review. Doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be involved. It can be, I liked it, or, it didn't work for me, or, yeah, it was okay. Or you can just leave a star review. But those reviews are really important to us. Most important is the feedback, so that we have some clue if what we're doing is making a dent. So if you can please leave a review, we would be very pleased about that.
And I would challenge everybody that wins a book. If you win a book, you've been given something for free. You've been given time for free too. Leave a review. It'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Yep.
We do
that would
have
be the
a
best.
question in the chat.
Yes.
Emma and Ray, do you have Instagram accounts? There was a request for Instagram accounts. Diana, I already put yours in there.
Thank you, my dear.
You know I would.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ray,
I do.
Okay, Ray, if you could post that in the chat, that'd be awesome. And Emma, if you have an Instagram account, if you can post that in the chat as well. Not only reviews, but follow on social media on all the platforms is really important. You know, getting noticed however we can get noticed is really an important thing for us. So
Oh, and
anybody
Priscilla,
can do that.
Priscilla, you have your hand up. Do you have a question for the group? Just type it into the chat if you have a question. Maybe.
Maybe
Sure.
Priscilla's just saying hi.
Hi, Priscilla.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathleen. I know we would all appreciate reviews, no matter what you read. I mean, you know, it's not just the big guys that love reviews. We little people like reviews too. We'd like to know that you like us. You really like us. Or if you don't, so that we can, you know, understand that we should write something else. Okay, awesome. I think we are going to wrap this up for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This was an awesome session. Again, tomorrow we're doing poetry and short story, blind date with a book at 8 p.m. So everybody check that out. Don't forget to pre-register. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody you know. We're giving away over 100 books this month, plus a ton of extras and swag. And oh my gosh, it's crazy, crazy. So bring everybody out. We're having a good time. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kate and Andrew, for helping with this insanity. I am in your debt. And we will see you all tomorrow night. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Y'all come back now.